Good day, everyone. I would like to introduce myself. I am Miss Ingrid Manaloto, and I will be your lecturer for today for the NMAT Review 2026 Mock 2 under the Social Sciences. Okay, so just to give you a little preview, I am a licensed psychometrician and currently working as a college professor in Barrios University. Okay, so sana ready ka na no para sa ating Mock 2 na kakain or at least you are excited for us for this Mach 2. So just to give you a preview, this Mach 2, okay, is consists of 30 items only. So mas mabilis ito, no? And of course, all throughout, we are going to discuss, okay, the questions and at the same time, the answer for each question. So samahan mo ako hanggang sa number 30 and without any further ado, let us get started. Okay, so let us proceed with questions number 1. Okay, so for questions number 1, we are going to read the answers. Then after that, I'm going to give you some few seconds para sumagot. Then we are going to reveal the answer afterwards. Okay, so for number 1, what is the best possible reasons for the difficulty experienced by people who had criminal records in seeking employment after they are released? Okay, letter A. People still label them as criminals even they are no longer in jail. Letter B, they are considered not capable of doing things after rather than committing a crime. Letter C, they do not know the changes in the outside world. Or letter D, people do not care about them. Okay, so what do you think is the answer for questions number 1? Okay, so let us reveal the answer. For number 1, the correct answer is letter A. Okay, people still label them as criminals even they are no longer in jail. Okay, so the reason behind why letter A is the best answer. So remember that in mock boards, it's really important na masasanay tayo to always select the best answer. And of course, to understand why is it considered as the best answer. Okay? So, number 1 or letter A actually pertains about labeling them as a criminals kung bakit nahihirapan silang maghanap ng trabaho. In the context of sociology, there is a theory which involves labeling na kung saan it influenced the way how people will treat you or it influenced the way how people see your status in the community. So, of course, for criminal, the very reasons kung bakit sila mahihirapan maghanap ng trabaho is because they are being labeled as criminals. So, yun yung pinaka-status nila sa lipunan. So, their label actually contributes to the status which will help people to understand how are they going to treat this group of people. So para sa mga kriminal, kapag ikaw ay na-labelan ng something that is negative, for example, criminals, you are a cheater, definitely that will signify that you will be experiencing some difficulties or problems, no? Magiging mababa or nagkakaroon ng pagbaba ng tingin ng mga tao tungkol sa estado ng buhay na meron ka. Okay? So that is why letter A is the best answer. Although letter B, they are considered not capable of doing things, no? Actually, this is not true. Criminals are actually considered um to understand or meron silang maraming kaalaman, okay? Alam ng mga tao na nasa labas na marami talaga silang alam or they are doing a lot of things para nga mas mapaigsi ang kanilang parole or para mas mapalaya sila ng mas mabilis, okay? So, people do not actually treat them as someone who knows nothing. However, people only focuses on the labels. Okay, criminal ka. That explains a lot on how are they going to treat you. Which is letter C, they do not know the changes in the outside world, which could be also true, no? Pero kasi when it comes to employment naman sa pagtatrabaho, kadalasan bago pa makulong ang isang tao, they're already doing something in life. Posible na nagtatrabaho na sila, posible na they also gain experiences no doon sa loob ng kulungan, such as gaining workshops and seminars. That is pino-provide naman talaga para sa mga preso. And letter D, people do not care about them, which is highly impossible because people care a lot the history or about the history of every people or ng mga tao. Lalo na sa mga kriminal, 'di ba? We are always after doon sa mga ano yung dahilan kung bakit ka nakulong. Ano yung reasons kung bakit ka nakulong. So technically, people care about a lot them. And yung care na yon is nagiging stigma or nagiging label, which can create a difficulty na hindi sila makahanap ng trabaho or people will treat them differently. Okay? So, let's proceed with the next questions. Questions number 2. Okay? Number 2, in a medical institution, professionals such as nurses, doctors, dietitians, pharmacists, and medical technologists work in the harmony providing specific services depending on a client or patient's need. Which of the following social processes can be best observed in the said context? Letter A, assimilations and competition. Letter C, amalgamations and stratification. Letter B, cooperations and differentiations. Or letter D, enculturations and amalgamation. Okay, what do you think is the answer for questions number 2? All right. So for questions number 2, the correct answer is letter B. Okay? Letter B is the correct answer. So let us first understand ano nga ba ang meron sa mga social processes. Okay? And why is it the answer that within these questions is letter C, no? It talks about the cooperations and differentiation. First is we have what we call the social integration. So pag sinabi nating social integration, how does the community, despite of their differences, shared the efforts within each other? So we have what we call cooperations and assimilation. So in terms of cooperations, people are equal within each other. So walang mas mataas, walang mas mababa. Nurses is also, or nurses is considered to be equal within the doctors. Medtechs are considered to be equal, okay, within the doctor. So, saan tinitignan yung level of equality? Pagdating sa effort. And going back to our question, it pertains about how these medical professionals can actually provide the needs, okay, or the best for their clients or patients. So that is actually part of the cooperation. They are contributing their efforts equally. In terms of assimilations naman, we have this what we call minority or dominant culture. Or in other terms in sociology, this can be the minority group and the majority group. So pag sinabi nating minority group, these are the usual patient, these are the people in the community. Sila yung mga simpleng tao lang. In comparison with the dominant culture, they can be considered as the professionals, politician, someone who is already known in the society. Okay? In terms of assimilation, there is an exchange of informations, exchange of knowledge, but the exchange of knowledge will be dependent upon your status. Part ka ba ng minority group or part ka ba ng majority group? Okay? So doon nakadepende how are they going to take the efforts or the considerations na ibinibigay mo o sineshare mo dun sa mga tao. Okay? And of course, we also have the part of the social differentiations and stratification. First one, we have competition. Of course, in terms of competition, there should be at least 2 people in order to compete. Now, in terms of competition, understand na dapat meron siyang end goal or meron siyang tinatawag na final goal. Pag sinabi nating final goal, what is something that you wanted to achieve? Kung bakit gusto mong ma-reach yung competition? Or why did you join the competitions in the first place? What is the goal? What is the prize? Okay. On the other hand, we have differentiation, which talk about the means of increasing complexity of a system. Each subsystem can make a different connection. So in terms of the differentiations naman, there is no final goal. But rather, the goal is to identify the differences para na sa ganun, mas mapunan. Ano yung mga pwedeng pagkukulang o ano yung mga pwedeng mapunan? Okay? And of course, we also have what we call the stratification. Pag sinabi nating stratification, your efforts is defined based on your social strata or what we call the social status that you provide inside a community or society. Sino ka ba sa society na yon? Are you the kapitan? Are you part of the professionals? You are the students? And so on and so forth. And of course, we also have enculturation. occurs when values, norms, and practices of a culture are adopted by individual or group. So enculturations naman, these are the passing of knowledge or information from one generation to another. So usually, itinuturo mo na to sa mga mas nakakabata or you share the information. And enculturation happens when tinuturuan na tayo ng mga magulang natin ng mga basic choices, 'di ba? In order for us to understand or to learn how are we going to contribute to the society. And that is, my dear student, is what we call the social processes. Okay? So let us move forward with the next question. Number 3. Which of the following statement reflects a functionalist understanding of the family? Letter A. The family is composed of a father, a mother, and at least one child. Letter B. The family is a source of genes from which the human species evolved. Letter C. The family is the site of different interests that are usually in a state of conflict. Letter D. The family ensure the continuance of a society through reproductions and socializations of children as new members of the society. So what do you think is the answer for questions number 3? Okay, so for number 3, the correct answer is letter D. Okay, so the family ensures the continuance no ng kanilang pamilya. So dapat nagkakaroon ng iba't ibang henerasyon or nabubuhay yung henerasyon or generations ng family na yon. That should be built in a pattern of the society, family, and children. Wherein the society, doon nagmumula yung culture, doon nagmumula yung knowledge, and the society will pass it on from the family. Then the family will have the continuance of their generation through their children. Okay? So when we talk about functionalism, it talks about the interconnectedness of a society by focusing how each person or each individual can actually contribute no doon sa pag-growth ng society na yon. And that is what we call functionalism. Okay? So let us move forward to questions number 4. Okay, for questions number 4, what do you call the societies that traces kinship descent from father? Letter A, matrilineal. Letter B, matrilocal. Letter C, patrilineal. Or letter D, patrilocal. Okay, for number 4, what do you think is the best answer? Okay, so for number 4, the correct answer is letter C, what we call patrilineal. Okay, so intindihin natin, ano ba ibig sabihin ng kinship system? Pag kinship system, ito yung sa kung paano ka napunta sa society na yon or your connections with that community or society. Paano ka napunta doon sa community na yon? Sino yung nagdala sa'yo? Okay. So first, pagdating sa part ng tinatawag nating male descendants, okay, or female descendants or female center system, magmumula sa patrilineal, kinship through the mother. Yung mga practices o yung mga values na meron ka is tinuro galing doon sa community kung saan nagmula ang iyong nanay. Okay? And we also have the part of the male-centered system, which is what we call the patrilineal, kinship through the father, the values, the link, the connections, and everything, yung mga kinalakihan mo is nanggaling sa father side. On the other hand, we also have what we call the patrilocal, the couple settles in the husband's community. So, nung kinasal na si wife, nag-transfer siya doon sa community na meron or kinalakihan ng kanyang asawang lalaki. And of course, we have the matrilocal, which is si husband ang pumupunta doon sa community kung saan napunta ang kanyang wife or kung saan lumaki ang kanyang wife. So for example, magpapakasal ang isang Catholic na lalaki, okay, sa kanyang girlfriend. Okay? So, kung pinaplano nila na lumipat, okay, doon sa community kung saan tumira or kung saan lumaki ang kanyang asawang babae, definitely that is what we call patrilocal. Okay? So that is what we call the process of the kinship system. Let us move forward for questions number 5. Number 5, which of the following description illustrate that culture is based on a system of shared symbols? Letter A, tributes tend to use the same set of tools for agriculture. Letter B, urban women tend to use the same methods of child rearing. Letter C, Muslim immediately recognize a mosque by the crescent and the star above it. Letter D, food preparation sa buong Kapampangan is passed down across generations. And my dear student, we are talking about shared symbol. Ano ba ibig sabihin ng shared symbol, or which among the choices portrays what we call the shared symbol? Okay, so for this one, in number 5, the correct answer is letter C. Okay? So at this time, we're going to understand paano ba nagkakaroon ng culture and how this symbol, okay, is being made, or ano yung foundation sa pag-create nitong symbol na to. First is we have what we call the sensate culture. Okay? Based belief only on what is visible to the eye, from the term itself, sensate, no? Something that you can sense, something that you can see, something that has something to do with your senses. Yun yung mga bagay na pinaniniwalaan mo. Okay? And we have what we call ideational culture, based on what cannot be seen but can be felt. Something na hindi mo naman talaga nakikita, pero nararamdaman. Okay? And another one is we have what we call the maternal culture or material culture. Of course, it pertains about your gadgets or yung mga material na pag-aari mo. Okay? How you adapt the culture, for example, is based on what you perceive on the internet. That is something that we call material culture, or yung level of satisfaction mo nakabase sa kung ilang gadgets ang meron ka. That is what we call material culture. Okay? Now, we also have 5 characteristics of culture. This can be something that can be learned, shared, okay, based on symbols, integrations, and of course, dynamic. On the other hand, we have the cultural progression or what we call cumulative culture. Pag sinabi natin cumulative culture, there is a advancement pagdating doon sa kultura na meron. So, kung dati wala kayong shared symbols na tinatawag, pwedeng ang isang religion, ang isang society na to, magkaroon sila ng symbols, mga logos, so that they can easily identify na, ito pag nakita ko to, this is what we call Catholicism symbols. Okay? So logos is important because it's established and it is the foundations of culture. And at some point, mas nagiging madaling ituro din ng isang kultura if there will be some symbols or if there will be some signs. Okay? So let us proceed with the next question.